Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conversations with Sekani, a podcast for people in their 20s who are trying to figure out life and not get lost along the way. Today's guest is Tomide Akinola, co founder of Review, a proactive emotional intelligence platform designed to help people recognize stress patterns, prevent burnout, and regain control of their well being before they hit a breaking point. Tomide has spent years building systems, leading teams, and operating at the intersection of technology, entrepreneurship, and personal development. But despite success on the outside, relentless pressure eventually led him into burnout, a struggle that changed how he viewed work, leadership, and what it truly means to succeed. Today, we'll explore burnout, emotional intelligence, founder pressure, leadership, and why the future of technology must prioritize people, not just productivity. Tomide, welcome to Conversations with Sekani. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you. It's a joy to be on your podcast.
All right, you're welcome. So, yeah, I'm curious. I want to hear your story, Tomide. So, tell us about your background and, what first sparked your entrepreneurial mindsets, basically.
I think my family, for good or for bad, has been a family of entrepreneurs, especially on my father's side. His my grandmom, his mom, and even his grandmom were very enterprising, significantly so. And I spent quite a bit of my childhood staying with my grandmom, and then my father himself is an entrepreneur. So while I started off and I, continued to practice engineering, I have always been into startups. Actually, my very first startup was with Toby around 17 years ago. and
Wow.
it we worked through it for like 2 years, and then we kind of went our separate ways and continued with our professional development. So it was very fortuitous that we reconnected again around 18 months 2 years ago. And
Mm,
then just late last year, early this year, we decided that we wanted to build Reveal together. And it's more than, I would say, more than our typical experience, because you look at a need on the outside a lot of times and you say, oh, okay, I think I can solve that challenge.
mm,
But Reveal is more like a need that we saw within ourselves.
mm,
So it's a little bit of a different approach, almost a different mindset. And it's one of the things that makes it so exciting to sort of share, because when you find something for yourself,
mm.
you are in a hurry to tell people about it, like, oh, look what I discovered. And
Right.
Toby and I were talking about it the other day, and he was like, this is the first time everything has sort of come together. I mean, we've built multiple things over the past 16, 17 years, but this is one of those few times when everything comes together and we are just so excited about it and willing to do the work while looking at it as something that is, and this sounds very cliched, it's almost more than just a business. So I'm very careful saying that, so don't take it to the bank. But it
Right.
is it is something that we do have a lot of passion behind, and we do have a lot of belief that it can help us and can help the people around us if they utilize it.
Mm.
Yep.
Right. Wow. Whew. Okay, so I've heard about review before. This is for my listeners now, and I'm sure they've heard about it too. And this is an opportunity for them to hear about it again from, another perspective. But it still, boils down to the fact that it's here to solve a problem, right? Burnout. That is a major problem that high achievers, right, they face often. And I believe, that you've experienced burnout firsthand, right? So, what were like the warning signs that you initially missed?
Oh, just the amount of stress that you start going under. We accept a certain level of stress in our lives. There is
Mm,
no growth without some stress. And
Right.
we all accept that as we work, as we do any enterprise, as we engage in relationships, as we just go through life, even if you are just an athlete, a musician, an artist, you are going to have a certain level of stress. But how do we know that the stress is crossing the line and going from something that makes you grow to something that is killing you? And I do mean that literally. Stress can get to a stage, it can become a almost like a quiet, very unspoken about killer, right?
Mm.
Um, starts driving bad habits. It starts driving you setting aside things that could make you healthier. It starts depriving you of sleep, starts stressing you out in your relationships, makes you maybe a little bit more irritable. So definitely I think what I missed was just how much stress I was under. And I just assumed it was totally normal. It's expected. Maybe you have a young family, you are beginning to progress in your career. You expect a certain level of stress. Everybody jokes about it, right? Okay, if you have a
Right.
child, you won't sleep for like 4 years or something like that. It's like a joke. But when you start
Mm.
experiencing it, there's a difference between that kind of like, this is awesome. I love having a little person to take care of, and oh my God, I am in hell. And it's not really the family situation. It's just the stress that you're under from other situations, kind of like surrounding you, and you not as a human being really not taking that time out to say, well, is this appropriate? And I think that's what I missed, just how much stress I was under.
Wow. All right. Wow. So now let's talk about review, right? So what is review and what problem is it out there to solve? And I feel like there are things that, people have also created to solve such problem. So first of all, what makes review different from, other productivity apps? So yeah.
I think quite immediately, right? It's not meant to just improve productivity. I would actually say it's not meant to improve productivity at all. um and it is also not just targeted at burnout. Burnout is sort of an expression that we use. It's very corporate, right? We don't talk about
Right.
relationship burnout, right?
Mm. Mm.
we don't talk about societal burnout. We just
Mm.
say, you're burnt out at work. So it's very, very focused from a sort of like 9 to 5 or entrepreneurship point of view. But that burnout is just a natural fatigue, mental stress, and overload that can occur across all the areas of your life that now leads to a spiraling. When you are down, it's easy to get lower, right? There's no such thing
Yeah.
as, oh, this is the lowest point. No, tomorrow it could get worse. And I think reveals uh, serves as a tool. It's a tool that the individual can use to help themselves stop the process of spiraling, of getting worse, and begin the process of coming up. It's not a super tool of some sort that will just come and intervene in your life, right?
Mm.
You are a human being, you still have to use it. It's a tool. It's like a toothbrush. If you don't brush your teeth, you're going to have dental problems. Reveal is a tool that stops the process of spiraling when
Mm.
used in good faith by the user. It stops the process of spiraling and allows the user to begin the process of being present, as opposed to having your mind everywhere, constantly worrying about multiple things at the same time. So let's be a bit cautious about how we look at it. Again, it's not some sort of like super serum, right? That, oh, once you use it, you become this superhuman being and you can jump over buildings and you can run faster than a speeding train. No, it is a tool, and we are specific about burnout because we have to point it at something. But really, it's the whole process of spiraling, regardless. So even if you don't express burnout from a corporate point of view, you're just going through life and you feel like as an individual you're spiraling, you can use this as a tool, and you can use it in alongside all the other tools, right? That are
Mm,
helping you
mm,
be present, that are helping you meditate, that are helping you increase your productivity. It is there to keep you grounded, keep you present, keep you focused on the here and now, as opposed to worrying about things that are maybe at that time out of your control.
Wow. All right. Wow. Okay. So this sounds amazing, I would say. Just it will help, right? It sounds amazing, especially for, high achievers, right? And specifically those people who are working. And like you said, it will help you track your emotions, basically, and just help you put it in check. Stop overthinking. I mean, overworking too. So this is like the deal. And yes, one thing that I would like for us to talk about when it comes to review is privacy, right? So, what steps, or should I say, what measures have you made when it comes to review to be sure that when people use this app, because it's an AI too, right? And people
Yes.
believe that our informations are not safe. So safety, what as yeah, I believe you understand what I'm trying to ask.
Oh yeah,
But
absolutely.
review, yes. So privacy, right? I believe is such an important part of the platform. So how is it important? And what measures have
Okay.
you guys made to, make sure that our details are safe?
So one of the from a regulatory standpoint,
Hmm.
while it is not certified as a medical device at this time, we are holding ourselves to the equivalent of a hospital that is domiciled or resident in the United States. That is the standard we hold ourselves to. And medical information of a patient, again, we are not regarded as a medical device. This is what we are holding ourselves to above and beyond.
Hmm.
Medical information in the United States is governed by HIPAA, which says that without the consent of the user, of the patient, or the consumer of this medical care, you cannot reveal that information to anybody. It has some
Hmm.
of the most stringent rules. Again, voluntarily, we are not able to share this information with anybody. Even people that are within the organization cannot see this information, right? Unless, and even people that are close, right? Talk less of marketers and third parties. We are in a world now where everything is for sale. All the data in the world is for sale. And we're not selling that data. No, we're not giving it out. We're not selling it. We are not sharing it. It is yours and yours only. Just the same way when you have a proprietary AI, and most people don't have this capability, right? But when you have a proprietary AI to a company, all the information that the members of that company are entering into it. So when Claude or when ChatGPT writes a contract with an organization, all those queries, they cannot be shared even with the organization, right? And the permissions in a lot of cases, they cannot be shared with the management of the organization. People can't look up your search queries, your AI queries, as opposed to what you have when you are just using it by yourself and they are taking everything and they are looking at everything all the time and they can sell it and they can market to you. So that is the standard that we're holding ourselves to. And it's something that I really, really commend Toby for being very, very sort of like ahead of the curve on and identifying it as a big deal, very big deal. And he has internally within the organization, he constantly shares regs. Again, even though we are not subject to them, he constantly shares the regulations. So this is not something that we hold quite closely, especially in this world where everything a dollar sign is attached. Like I
Hmm.
said, this is a little bit more for us than just build something and sell it. We actually want to
Mm.
make sure that people are able to use it and find some value in it.
Mm. Wow. All right. So one can say this is a more human-centered technology. Wow. Okay. All right. So yes, before I ask my final question today, I want us to touch on technology, AI, and humanity, basically. So I see that review just has a touch of all of them in it, right? The humanity, AI, and technology. So how do you see AI changing the future of mental wellness?
Okay, so one thing that I have personally found useful through my own journey of personal development is like cognitive
Mm,
behavioral therapy, which is a very, very technical way of saying talk to yourself in a positive manner.
mm,
Um, we sometimes have thoughts, and those thoughts are not always negative. Sorry, are not always positive. They are negative.
mm,
And we
yeah,
have the opportunity to kind of change our thoughts by talking to ourselves, either
mm,
mentally or even out loud. People, we found out that that is very, very useful. Moving from that, so that's the human, right? Cognitive behavioral therapy has been around for quite a while, and it's been found to be very useful in helping people process things and even change behavior. This is the important part. Helps them change behavior. When we come to reveal, it sort of serves as a sort of like that tool helps interrupt negative thought patterns. So anything, any tool, you can use it for positive or for negative. When it comes to the place of mental health, we're already seeing the dangers of AI that is built to be a people pleaser and how it enables people and how sometimes it kind of encourages them to do negative things because the AI doesn't know when to say no, don't do that, right? It's
mm,
not programmed to do that
mm,
because the people that are building it don't want you to stop using the AI. They want you to stay on. So whatever is needed, whatever personality it needs to do that. So we as builders and people that are really focused on technology, we have to decide the kind of tools we put in the hands of people. My
mm,
hope, my vision is that people become so powerful that they can tell, and I mean non-tech people, that they can tell an AI what they need it to do, and it does it,
mm,
right? So people start using it as a tool, which means okay,
mm,
if you see that I'm engaging in this behavior, prompt me, right? People that are
mm,
trying to sell you stuff are not going to do that, right?
mm,
As long as they are selling, they will do whatever it is you want them to do as long as it is legal. And in a lot of cases, if it's illegal, they'll still do it. But if we have the power to take back this tech instead of it being fed to us, if
mm,
we have the power to create agents without significant knowledge, just type in a prompt and it creates the agent and it can help us um, do certain tasks, including wellness checks, interrupting patterns, interrupting bad habits, and telling us, hey, maybe you shouldn't uh, uh, partake in that substance at this time. Maybe you shouldn't talk to yourself in this way. We chose that tool to do that for us. So we
mm,
need more power as users. So not all the power should be in the hands of the builders or in the regulators. And I think we as builders, we need to trust our users more that they know what's best for them more than anybody else. And I think that's the future I would like to see. But like anything else, we do have to make it happen. It's not just going to happen
mm.
without our active participation.
Right, exactly. Wow. Oh, okay. So I would say the same too, right? I would love to see that in the future. And another thing is I love that mental health is now deeply considered, right? I feel like back in the days it wasn't really considered the way it is now. I mean, a whole lot of people are now talking about mental health, mental awareness, burnout, and just a whole lot of things. And I love that we are taking power, right? And people are considering these things. And now we could even use tools, like you said, right? We can have tools that could help us with things like this. And there's this whole trend on social media, right? When one feel some kind of way. They just ask Chat GPT for advice, right? Or they ask Chat GPT to track what they are doing wrong. I feel, and most times I wouldn't really say it's not effective, but it's what you give, it will give back to you basically. So I
Yes.
feel like review review will do more than that, right? It's gonna do way more than that from all the explanation you've given to us today. And I think that is the
That is the
future of.
intention.
Right, that's the intention, and like you said, and that's the future of the whole mental wellness, right? That's the future of mental wellness when it comes to tools like AI, basically. So yes, thank you, Tomide. This has been an amazing conversation. Thank you for sharing your story and your your hopes, right, for the future with us today. And yes, finally, I would like for you to give advice to a younger generation out there, because that is the sole purpose of my podcast, actually. Getting clarity when it comes to life, basically. So many what advice would you give to someone chasing success while trying not to lose themselves? Because that is what most young adults are currently doing today. We are all chasing success and also trying not to lose ourselves. So what advice would you give to us?
You trying to say I'm old?
Ah,
Just joking.
oh
So
my
I would
God.
I would give the same feedback I would sort of give to
Mm,
anyone. It's very important, and this is not an original thought. It's very important for we as people to know what we want. What I
mm,
want is a very important question
mm,
because it's very easy to get caught up in what society says you should go for, how society says you should be, what society says you should target. And when I say society, that could be your peers, that could be your parents, that could be your company, that could be social media. Like the, we worry so much that we don't want to do what is inside of us. We want to be
mm,
safe. We want the acceptance of other people, and that leads to us wanting things that we don't really want. But there are things that perhaps are imposed on us subconsciously.
mm,
So if you can ask yourself that question and then you can pursue it with seriousness, there is a chance that you will get to a stage that you are fulfilled, regardless of whether you achieve it or not. But
mm,
if you don't go that route and you focus instead on what society says, and this is a challenge everybody faces on an ongoing basis, you run the risk that even if you achieve those things, you still feel very dissatisfied, right? And because what really was inside you, what you really wanted, you never even asked yourself. You never really asked yourself.
mm,
So I would say that is a big deal. And pursuing that also reduces the chances of negative emotions like envy, hatred, bitterness, because now you don't care what other people are doing. You don't care
mm,
how well they are succeeding. You don't care whether they are even moving at a quote unquote faster pace than you, according to
mm,
other people. Oh, you other people are saying, oh, look at this person, because you are genuinely pursuing what you want.
mm, mm,
Genuinely. And I think that is very important because we'll be surprised. A lot of people just want to maybe care for their parents, right? Be in that situation.
mm,
A lot of people want to um, take care of their loved ones or build something or live in a certain place, a certain location, or have a certain job. But society says, no, 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 no. That's not what you're about. This is what you should do instead. Listen to what yourself as a person and see where it takes you and go for it when you find out what it is you want to do.
mm. Wow. And I think that is really important, actually. And like a guest said, how can you know what you want and what you don't want if you do not find out, right? So you
Yeah.
need to go look for, explore, right? Because our 20s are for exploring. Look for things that you think you would like, explore different things, try out new things, and then you get to find out what you like and what you don't like. And like you said, just know what you want. That just helps. It works better. Just know what you want. It stops the unhealthy comparison and just helps you just go for your dreams basically. So yes, thank you, Tomide. This has been deeply
Thanks.
insightful, I would say. And yes, finally, it brings me to the final segment of my podcast. I call it the rapid fire segment. You could either answer with a word or a phrase starting now. So what is one habit that changed your life?
Walking.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. All right. So what is one word that describes your mission?
Finish.
Hmm. Wow.
Finish
Okay.
or further,
Hmm.
but finishing is the first step, but it never ends. You finish and then you finish again. There's no end to it.
Wow. Okay. So yes, a book that influenced you.
Um, Pulled by Randomness by
Hmm.
Nicholas Nassim Talib.
Wow. Okay. All right. And finally, how do you define peace?
I define peace by facing both triumph and disaster the same way.
Wow. Oof, that's deep. I would say that
That's
is deep.
Rudyard Kipling from the poem If.
Hmm. Wow. Okay. That word is deep. It takes, a whole lot of reflection for me to understand that. But yes, thank you, Tomide. This has been deeply insightful. And finally, before you go, where can listeners get to, learn more about you and also connect with you?
Reveal Technologies, Reviel. Reveal Technologies on social media, LinkedIn, and all social media. And launch.reveal.app, Reviel. Launch.reveal.app for our pre-launch sign up. Go there, sign
Mm.
up so you get notifications so that when the app drops any minute from now, you can be first in line.
Wow. All right. Review technologies. I'm going to put the link in the show notes so it's easily accessible for listeners. And to my listeners, I would say thanks for tuning in to Conversations with Sekani. If this episode sparked something in you, just as it did in me, make sure to share to someone who you think might need this and also subscribe so you don't miss out on new episodes. Once again, thank you, Tomide, and do have a wonderful day ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.